I think the biggest threat to democracy today is disinformation. A great book that I only read parts of in college, I'm not saying I read the whole thing, but I still really enjoyed was Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville. De Tocqueville was a French aristocrat and a historian who visited New England in the early 19th century, in 1831 precisely. He came from France and he was trying to understand American democracy. Officially, he went there to study America's prison system, but he ended up doing much more than that. He ended up deeply analyzing and researching American political culture, civil culture, religion, and other aspects of American society, which he admired and wanted to better understand. I think this is a very important book for understanding what makes the US tick because it's an outsider perspective. It's a perspective from somebody who comes from a country where a lot of the things that they're observing are not true. So it's not necessarily propaganda from the ruling class. Instead, it could be understood to be the confessions of a jealous but impressed admirer. So I think that gives what he says a high degree of validity. Anyway, de Tocqueville argued that what made America so stable and what made its system so functioning wasn't its laws, but it's what he called habits of the heart. Religious practices, community practices, traditions, and associations that kept citizens engaged. De Tocqueville also noted that there were few highly educated Americans, but there were almost no ignorant Americans. He attributed this to a universal education system that created a middle ground intelligence. And he concluded that this made Americans the most enlightened population in the world. De Tocqueville said Americans had a newspaper habit, that there was a sheer abundance of newspapers and every American read them. He said this was because Americans had to, because they were involved in so many community associations they needed to stay informed on what their neighbors were doing and also what their representatives in government were doing. He criticized the quality of American journalism, but he admitted that it had a high level of utility. He argued that it gave American citizens a high level of autonomy, a high level of being able to act and participate in democracy without some sort of central leadership. He claimed that Americans weren't informed because they had some deep understanding of high philosophical concepts, but rather because they were informed through participation in their system. Here's a direct quote. "True information is mainly derived from experience. And if the Americans had not been gradually accustomed to govern themselves, their book learning would not assist them that much." Just a little French food for thought.